In this exercise, we're going to create some geometrical shapes, and we'll create triangles. So there's 6 different triangles in this document I just opened up. So we're going to create all triangles here on the left, and you're going to name them their respective name, whatever they're naming them here. So I got an equilateral triangle, meaning that these 3 sides are the same, and the isosceles triangle, where we got 2 sides the same. I will start this by going here, and if I had to create a new one, because this one's a different model, I'm just going to hit the plus button right here to create a new tab, and I'm going to hit 3D part design. So 3D in the top left on the compass, and then I'm going to hit part design is my favorite. You got to scroll down your list and find part design. You're going to find the sketch icon. It's a feature on the bottom, and then you pick the YZ plane, and we'll select OK. And I'm in the sketch environment. I'm using, from what we learned earlier, how to manipulate this to slide the axis to the left corner. I never want to work on the axis, okay? So don't work on that axis. You'll see why here in a minute. I'm going to go to the feature called line. You know what lines make? They make lines. So I hit line. I'll just start here, and then I'll come up over to here. And I know that I'm snapping to the grid because I have this on the grid, and then right below it I got snap to point. It means you'll snap it right to the grid. So again, I go to line, and you can see the coordinates showing up. Alright, and then I'm going to go to line and create another one. Now, if it's an isosceles or an equilateral, that means that all the lines are the same length. I wasn't really that worried about it, but if it bothers you, you can put on a constraint and constrain the size of these parts here. So if I go and do a constrain like so, and constrain this, oh, I got a 90-degree angle over here, so it doesn't like that. So if you want to get rid of that 90-degree angle, you just click on it, then hit delete, and it'll go away. You can see that these values are the same. That's a 4-inch one. So you know what? I just created an isosceles triangle. So what I could do is I could name it that, isosceles triangle. Go back to CATiA and change the name. So what I did to change the name is you select the top collector, on the top collector of the specification tree, you do a right click, which pulls up the contextual menu. In the contextual menu, you will see properties. If I select properties, you can select the tab, the first tab called reference, and we can name this isosceles. I think I spelled that wrong. Triangle. Oh, you know what? I'm supposed to do that all in capital letters. Okay. Anyways, what I want you to do is create that isosceles triangle. Zoom up on it like this. I get it kind of close to the tree. And I want you to create a Word document. So I'm going to open up a new Word document. And this is called the geometrical shapes and triangles, and we're going to create 6 of these. So I'm going to copy that, go back to my Word document, and paste that, and go back to CATiA because I only have one screen. But one trick you can do if you don't already know this is if I have that screen on and then I go right to the Word doc, if I do an insert screenshot, I could clip on that and it knows the last picture I had up there. Okay, and I would be fine with that. The other thing you could do is under insert screen clip, to make it a little bit easier to read, you could screen clip this. Automatically jump to this page if you only have one monitor. It remembers the last page you were on, and then I clip there, and then I just get a little bit easier picture to read. Okay. For these examples, I would accept all. The only thing that's not acceptable is to have the sketch in the geometrical set. Okay. There's no fix for that, so you'll be docked points if you have it in the geometrical set. Now, how do I do that without having it in the geometrical set? Let me show you. So if I were going to create this part over, I could hit plus, hit 3D, and hit part design. Again, I'm going to find sketch in my features, and I'm going to pick the YZ plane. But if I do that, you'll see that the sketch is in the geometrical set right now. So I'm going to cancel this off. Before I get into the sketch, I must have the part body underlined. I know it's difficult to see, but the geometrical set currently is underlined. To underline the part body, we right click and we define it as the in-work object. So in the contextual menu, you'll find define in-work object. Again, each part from here on out must be in the in-work object. So I'm going to click on this one. Now when I hit sketch and select the YZ plane, you'll see in the specification tree the sketch is in the part body, and that's where it needs to be. Alright, so you're going to develop a real good habit in the next week, just making sure your sketch is in the part body. I'll select OK. Yours may be set up where it just automatically pops into it. Doesn't matter. I'm in the YZ plane. I can move this down, and I can create another line, and I'll just go from a random spot to another random spot here, and create another line. Notice that if I kind of line this up, it'll line up that bottom one. So click that using this grid line to line those up, and I'll pick this line here. If you remember last time, what I did was I hit constraint, and it put on a constraint to whatever was currently active. And then I just click off in a couple spots or just hit enter, and it'll accept that dimension. So, or not dimension, a constraint. If I select constraint and select this, I would click a position for it and hit enter, and then click constraint again, click another line and hit enter, click a position, hit enter. Now it was, if you notice, if it wasn't a value I wanted, click a position is before I just hit enter, type in the number you do want. So let's say I want let's go 4 inches. Click on this one. Anytime you want to double click, or anytime you want to change anything on CATiA, all you have to do is double click and you can type in a number. I can type in a number here by double clicking it, type in 4. Now I've got a triangle. I don't care, it's jumping around, doesn't matter for what we're doing right now. I got a triangle where the sketch is in the part body. All 3 sides are the same. Click on the top collector, right click, and go to properties. Highlight this and type in equal lateral. It should all be in capital letters. Triangle. Okay, and again, you'll add that to your Word doc. Again, this one will be docked at point, so you'd have to redo it if you want to get full credit. I'm going to come over here and insert a snapshot of that one. It's got equilateral triangle right there, so I know it's been named correctly. I know the sketch is in the right spot. And I made it 4 inches perfect, so I know it's a perfect equilateral. So going back to my directions, I just showed you how to do these two. There are no dimensions, just make a shape that looks similar to that. Name them prospectively, whatever they're called here. Okay. You're going to eventually do the same thing for the quadrilaterals. These are just rectangles. And then equilaterals. These are simply polygons. Okay. Not equilaterals. I meant to say polygons. You're going to use polygons. Okay. So what we are going to do right now is I just showed you how to create two triangles. You create the remaining triangles.